Destination. Hi, it's October 6th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we are live in the Christmas room, and you are on the new Sony E1. Yep, the ZV-E1. I just call it the E1. And this, my goodness, this looks almost identical, if not identical, but it definitely makes me remember the Sony A7S Mark III. And this actually looks just like I looked when I had that camera here. I was sad when I sold that camera because it was one of my favorite cameras. It actually upped the image quality from the A7 Mark III, okay, which I had for what, 2 years plus, and then I did switch at that time. So let me just make a quick overview, make sure I'm live. I got sound, I do see sound. I got picture, I do see picture. Is Peter here? Where is Peter? Oh, I'm Peter, I'm here. Welcome, it's Friday night. Thank you guys for being here. We made it another week. I made it another week, and if you have joined me, you have made it another week. Let's turn on those comments so I can see. Ooh, we got people in here already. And we got a lot of people. All right, so here we go. We are ready to do the show. So we got the ZV-E1. I've had the camera for actually a little more than a week now. All right, so both channels, this channel and the big channel, are now synchronized because on this channel I couldn't wait. I had to show you the camera and you know, share it with you. So of course I could not wait. So I went live as soon as it got here. Then on the other channel, I started with the shipping notice. So from the shipping notice, I couldn't go from the shipping notice to going live because there's two more in between. It's coming. It arrived. We're going to open it. So the two channels were not synchronized in what they call the storyline. Now they're synchronized. Okay, so we're all here. We're all ready to go. And let's see. This I have another mic here. This one is the Saramonic. Is that the name of it? So I just like standing here. The colors at the back are rich. Somebody actually said the colors are a little too saturated for me. Well, whoop-de-doo. Okay, it's my show, and I like the colors. I like my red shirt. I like that I could see the yellow stripes faintly in the red shirt. I like that I could see the red on the tree, and I could see the red skirt. What is all that red? Oh, I have a big red cloth around the base of that bubble lamp, which I didn't turn on. But that's okay. So now I've got this guy actually doing triple duty. So I could stand here and talk to you. I can also use the, oh, I did change it. Look at that. Peter is not as dumb as I thought he was. I changed it. So I put the right lens? Yes, it says the Zeiss. It's the Sony Zeiss, actually. It's a Sony lens. It's licensed by Zeiss, the Carl Zeiss Planar. It's the Carl Zeiss, Sony Zeiss Planar. Is it an asterisk T? I'll have to look at the lens when I get closer. So here we go, here we go, here we go. We are live. No, let me show you. Let me show you. Now I got this one set up to zoom a little bit. So now you've got a close-up of the face. I just came out of the shower, so do I look ugly? Not too bad. Usually I have to try to take a shower in the afternoon, but I got so busy that I really didn't take my shower till 8 o'clock. So what's wrong with that? I don't know what it is with you, but with me, when I take a shower, my face is redder. I guess it's maybe the towel and I dry it or something, but the face is actually redder. So I have started to learn to take the shower long before the show so that my face can cool down. Then I also learned another trick if I do something I don't like, and that is turn the water to solid cold, no warm water at all, kind of shock my face with the cold water. The red seems to simmer down. So TMI, right? Too much information, guys? All right, so let's see. Are we ready to start the show? Can I just stand here and enjoy this for one more second before I go sit in the chair? This is so pretty. I mean, the colors are just gorgeous. So I'm going to put, well, with this, I can actually walk around back here when I have the full one. When I say full one, not the crop version. So I could come back here, but I'm not holding the mic, so that's a negative. But I can. There's no reason why I can't hold the mic. Just take it off the stand. Now I can come back here. And now the end is near. And now I face the final curtain. Oh no, I am not Frank, but with a mic I feel more certain. To think I did all that. Peter, put the mic down and do your show. Okay, Daddy. I like to sing. I never said I was a good singer, okay? I just like to sing. So I break out into song. A funny thing happened on my way to hell. I got saved. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Hey, the snapper's working. My birthday week officially starts tonight because my birthday is next week and I celebrate for a week. Hell, let's make it a whole freaking month. Never mind a week, okay? We're going to celebrate my birthday. And who else is in October? If you're in October, let me know. So I stood for what? 2.5, 3 years at this desk doing a live show every night. And then I did it a shorter one. Then I moved the time. And then eventually I took it off because it was actually hurting my big channel. And then I opened up this channel and I do my live shows here. That's the way it is. So Roy is in the house with the mouse. He's in the house with me. Roy is in the house with me. Good day, Peter. 2 hours later here. So I need to get that straightened out in my brain. So it's 12 plus 4. So before daylight savings time, it would be 10:10. It would be 12:10. No, was it plus 4? Oh, now I'm confused. It used to be, I think, 12 plus 4 or 12 plus 2. So if it's 12 plus 2, it would have been 12:10. And now with daylight savings, it would be 13:10. No, 1:10. Well, just tell me what time it is, Roy, and then I'll add, subtract the 1, carry over the 3, add equals, and then I'll get to the time. Or just tell me what the frickin' time it is over there. Then I'll know. So Scotty, Scott, Q. He's got a Q. Scotty Q'd me. Have you, Peter, or others ever used an iPad as the monitor for the Mac Mini M2 unit? I have to say it wasn't for the M2. But I don't think it would matter because you're actually doing it. How are you doing it? You'd be doing it from Chrome, right? So you can monitor it, but your synchronization would be off. I don't think I got the right question and answer for you. So that's it, Scott. So I'm a little hungry, Scott. So what do we got? We got tonight. We have homemade chili. There we go. I could do chili, but it's got beans. However, made with beef brisket chunks. I could do the beef brisket chunks. I could pull them out because I'm all the way down to 149.5. I'm going to take that half because I have been so waiting to break the 150. I go down to 150, then I rise up 152, 153. Then I'll go down to 150, then I rise up, and that's just the way it is, okay? So what can I tell you? So I really am trying to break I got to get that 149. So I was 149.5, I'll take it. Sold. To the buyer with the red shirt, the glasses, the white hair, that guy, he'll take the 149.5. So let's see what we got. We got beef brisket chunks. Keto, yes. Crackers, down. But you guys can have the crackers. Cheese sticks, yes. And cute pumpkin cupcakes in honor of someone turning 70. I can't have those. I need to make either a keto ice cream, or I need to make a keto chocolate pudding. So basically the difference is, instead of putting the regular sugar in, I would use erythritol, or I would actually use Truvia. But I find that if I mix two different sugar substitutes, regular sugar substitutes, I like the taste better. So I have found liquid monk fruit, powdered monk fruit, and Truvia. Truvia is something you buy at your grocery store. The powdered monk fruit, no. Okay. I don't like Splenda. It gives me a bad stomach ache, and that's because it basically turns to chlorine in your stomach. What can I tell you? So, Jerry is here. Oh, wait, cider is at the end of the counter. Well, Scotty's doing better. Bless his little old heart. He's doing better. I can get the beef brisket chunks. I can have the cheese sticks. And maybe a little of the juice from the chili. But the chili's got the beans, so I don't do the beans. And that's only because it's sugar. I can eat anything I want. But I'm trying to eat healthier by staying away from anything that generates sugars. That would be bread, potatoes, rice, beans, legumes, all that stuff, cupcakes. But I'll tell you what, this is what I'm contemplating. I am contemplating, whenever my birthday day is next week, somebody's going to have to look it up. It's October 13th, okay? So I am going to have a piece of chocolate cake on my birthday, okay? That's not going to do anything to knock me out of my diet, just one item. So I'm not going to live from now until I die and never have a piece of chocolate cake again. Seriously. What kind of a diet is that? But I think it would be only a special day kind of a thing. So I think my birthday's special. Don't you think my birthday's special? So I'm going to try, and I'm going to ask my niece to make me a chocolate cake for my birthday. So Jerry's here, and he's saying, good evening, everybody. Happy Friday to you and me. Oh, happy Friday to you and me. Look at, I could put another person. Jerry and I could share this shirt. Scotty and I could share this shirt. Sammy and I could share this shirt. Oh, Craig is here. Craig and I could share this shirt. I feel like I'm wearing dresses. Look at that. Look at. And I used to actually pull on the buttons. You know, when you're kind of a little bit chubby. Let me get it out there so you can see. And you pull on the buttons because you're just a little bit too fat. Okay. And sometimes you could see, let's turn it so you can see my t-shirt under there. Okay. Now it doesn't pull. Woo! Is this camera doing good, or is this camera doing good? I love the picture on this camera. It is just clarity with the background bokeh and all the amazing, stunning features, and I'm just scratching the surface of it. I haven't had one instance of overheating on the E1. You can see right up here. Boom. You got to do it backwards, okay? This week, I'm going to try to get it to overheat so I can see what it takes. However, I will say what it does do that's a little different is it actually runs. I'm going to go out on a limb. Oh, that's very high up here. And I'm going to say that the camera runs twice as warm as most of the other cameras that I have worked with. That's why it's so easy to hit the threshold or cross the threshold of the heat. So I do have it set to high heat, which means whatever they do inside to measure the heat. Oh, let's see how this does. Does it come off of my eyes? No, it's staying. It's locked on. I got it set to human. It's set to me. I'm the human. Okay. So I got it set to human, and I got it set to face and eye detect, and it's going to automatically detect that eye, or it's going to detect that eye, because there's a left eye and a right eye. For a lot of people have that, okay? Not everyone, but a lot of them. So where did I leave off? I was playing around with Jerry, stuffing him in my shirt. So he was saying, happy Friday, Craig. Craig is here. Good evening, Peter and everybody. Hi, Craig. I got your texts. Let's do our communicating pertaining to the channel via email, and communicate with me pertaining to your life via texting, because that's where I have my brothers and my best friends. They text me about their life. Okay, so I want to hear about your life. So you can continue to text me, but not about channel business. I want to keep my text is my personal everyday life. So use the email for that, and that goes to everybody. Okay, like Scotty doesn't text me. Scotty will email me. Now, if he wants to tell me he's having surgery, he did text me. He wanted prayers. Now, that's a personal text. He wanted prayers. So there's lint in this pocket, and it's annoying me because I stick my hand in my pocket. It just kind of looks very 50s, you know. All I need is the hat, and I got my hand in my pocket. I look very, very casual. So now let's go up. I need a real pretty face. Real pretty. There's one. There's a pretty face. I wasn't talking to you, Mabel. You got a pretty face, sweetheart. I just know you got a pretty face. There's just something about your face that is just amazing. Yes, Mabel. I love you, sweetheart. You just keep rocking in that chair and keep getting fatter and fatter and uglier and uglier. Bah! Hey, you sit down. I'm live. They will witness you trying to attack me. Mabel, sit your fat ass down in the chair. That's a good girl. Calm down. You're the prettiest woman I have ever seen, young lady. I have never, ever seen such a pretty, pretty girl. Okay, so are we okay tonight? We can just kind of like fool around when we go to bed. Maybe. No. And she shot me a bird. Dang that woman. I'm going to trade her in. I'm going to get 2 younger models, actually. So anyway, go to sleep. All right. Looks like she's settling down, and I survived. So Craig says, yes, your birthday is next Friday. So my birthday actually falls on a Friday. So that means it's Friday the 13th. Are you scared of Friday the 13th? Well, you don't have to be. I got 2 reasons. It's my birthday, which supersedes any superstitions. So anybody that's connected and subscribe to me, there's no superstitions that can reach you on Friday the 13th. And the second reason is if you're a Christian, Jesus defeated all that crap, okay? None of it applies. No black cats, no ladders, no breaking a glass. All of that is died on the cross, and he came back to life, okay? So don't ever say, oh, it's Friday the 13th, I'm scared, because that is baloney. I can actually say the real truth. It's bullshit. Remember, the bulls do go out and poop. That's what it is. So don't let a Friday the 13th or any other superstition. I dreamed of my grandmother, and every time I dream of my grandmother, somebody dies. Oh, no. Oh, I've had relatives that do that. I dreamed of Uncle Charlie, and every time I dream of Uncle Charlie, somebody dies. Well, maybe you had the effing dream so that you would pray for a person. Hello? Doesn't mean somebody's got to die. Jesus defeated death on the cross. Do you want me to preach to you? I'll save it for next Friday on my birthday. I'll get to let the preacher come out. All right, so you guys have me wound up. Yes, your birthday is next Friday. Scotty is telling me something. What is Scotty saying? It's right there on the screen. You guys can read it just as much as I. E1 is incredible. Yes. Sony is crazy for not including a battery charger or a USB-C plug. Hello? There's no USB-C plug either. So you got to make do with what you got. I got one here, so it's actually plugged in. So makes you wonder about their accounting department. No, you know what it really is? If I don't want to attack them, and I wanted to be nice like the guy that I am, okay? You know, there's a maturity, even if you don't like it, to Canon and Nikon. They have been around many years. So I have an E10 here, over there. Okay, I had to look for it. Now, the buttons on Canon would be so similar between the new E1 that you are looking at right now. Remember, it's up here. All right. And on a Canon, the buttons would be so similar you could just fall into the new camera and it's like old hat. So the on and off button from the E10 is different than the on and off button from here. Okay, so I have turned this camera on. No, I have turned that camera on. Well, I've done it backwards. You know, what do they call it? Muscle memory. So that's part of a camera company maturing. So I'm trying not to, you know, actually be negative. I just want to point out the obvious. So on Canon, when you close, and on Nikon, when you close the door underneath, it latches. Over here, it doesn't latch. So it's little things like that, where things are consecutive, congruent. Things are where you expect them to be. That's where some of the new camera companies have not matured to the maturity level of making cameras for 60 and 100 years. All right, so the Panasonic didn't put in a clarity slider. How can you do all that stuff for faces and skin and not include a clarity slider? And then Sony does this one here. Okay, the Z10 doesn't have it. Okay, I just thought of it. So the E1 has a clarity slider and it has skin softening. Neither of which is on the, I'm pointing to the S5 Mark II because it's sitting right in front of me, okay? And when I go over to the chair, which is right there, when I go over to that chair, okay, then the S5 Mark II will kick in because now this is my standing camera, okay? So, and the other ones that are my standing cameras, so this one can do double duty, stand and sit. That one can do it, but because I have a more powerful lens, I can't do it from the same spot. The Nikon, which is over there, can also do a standing and sitting double duty. Okay, so again, it's the camera maturity. So that is something to take into account when you look at the cameras, but most people don't even think about the maturity level of the camera. So let's get back to the important people around here. Peter, you were such a tease on the big channel. Only because you're here, Scott. If you weren't here, you wouldn't know secret information. And you wouldn't giggle like a little schoolgirl. I know something you don't know. And then I'll pull your ponytails, okay? So I am not a tease. I have to follow the storyline. YouTube is all about stories. Remember that. There's nothing on YouTube that doesn't take a story line into account. That's the whole purpose of YouTube. It's called content creation. I'm a content creator. So saturated colors are much better than saturated underwear. I've been there, done that. I have to agree with Roy. Saturated colors are much better than saturated underwear. Yes, sirree. So Scotty is laughing at Roy, Okay. Roy, does anybody know if the lenses from my dead A7 fit on the ZV-E1? Well, the answer is in the marking of the lens. If it's an E-mount and the A7 takes an E-mount, yes. This is E-mount. The E10 is E-mount, the FX30 is E-mount, the A7S Mark III that I had here is E-mount, the A7 Just III Mark III is E-mount, Sammy's A7S or A7 Mark II is E-mount, so they do good on that front. So the E-mount lenses. Now, what the difference is how old the lenses are. They update the motors. That's one of Fuji's big problems. Fuji's older lenses have a motor that can't keep up with the technology we have today. And their gears are much bigger, like that. So a little move like that is way off the mark. So what they've done is they've gone to linear motors. This has got linear motors, okay? And the gears are much more refined. See how my fingers are closing? So those gears are more refined. You got a lot more control. So your lenses will work if it's an E-mount lens. If it's not an E-mount and you had a let's say, the alpha camera. Those won't work on an E-mount. They're not an E-mount lens. They're alpha mount, okay? So you just got to look and see, and this goes for everybody in the room. If you have an E-mount lens, it goes across the board, okay? So now on Canon, if you have an EF or EM lens, those don't go across the board because one is for a different mount, and that would be the EM. That's what Sly's got, all right? Then you got the EFS, which is designed for a crop sensor like 90D, 80D, 70D. Do I have to tell you all of them? Okay. Now, those cameras were designed by Canon not to accept, for the full frame cameras not to accept the crop frame lenses. That's one of the secret weapons of Nikon and this Sony. So this Sony will take the lenses from my E10, which are crop lenses, and I don't have one handy, but the crop lenses are small and light. When you combine that with a small and light camera, it's like winner, winner, chicken dinner. And Sly says I don't say it right. Wiener, wiener, chicken dinner. Okay, I got to say it like a good old Mexican. And maybe she'll like that better. How's that, Sly? Wiener, wiener, chicken dinner. Okay, there we go. We gonna sit down and eat the baked beans and fart all night. Boom. Okay, so what movie was that from? Oh, Blazing Saddles. It took a second. I heard some of you were thinking it, and it came through. It came through the air with the greatest of ease. Da da la 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 la. Okay. So, oh, Simon is here. Good evening, Peter. Hi, Simon. How you doing? Have a great show with your friends. I'll try to hang on a bit. The ZV-E1 looks great. He's winking because he's trying to Zed me. And I'm Zing him, he's Zedding me. We make a nice couple. I'm the better looking one. I can just tell you that. He's the richer one. I'm the better looking one. That's all. Say hi to Liam for me if you're still even up, okay? Because he has a hard time staying up. But that's what happens when you get older. You have a hard time staying up in more ways than one. Ba ha 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 ha. Ba ba ba. So Scott is saying, Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and couldn't keep her. I got my wife. Mabel's still right there. I didn't say anything, sweetheart. I'm keeping my big mouth shut. All right, Peter, how much fine-tuning did you need to do to the E1 color from the default? Very little. I would say it took me 2 weeks to get the Panasonic to where I wanted it. And it took me maybe, well, longer than 2 minutes, maybe 20 minutes to get this one going. So the color science on here, very, very nice. So what did I do on this one? I lowered the sharpness quite a bit. I lowered the saturation quite a bit. I raised the clarity just one. What else is there? I lowered the contrast quite a bit. I like a mild, gentle, smooth, like a chocolate pudding when it goes in your mouth. If it's a good chocolate pudding and it's not the one that you have to put the milk and stir it, but you cook it in the pot, you put that chocolate pudding in your mouth and it glides everywhere. It is so good. It's like an orgasm in your mouth. Peter, did you just say that? Yeah, but most people are not paying attention, so it doesn't matter. All right, so what do I have to do? I have to pick this up. And I just have to go over to that chair. I think the cameras are all ready. Okay, so let's go over. I'm going to just stand here for a second. Now, I do have a folder on eCam that's called sitting cameras. That's not it. That's not it. You think somebody was, that says standing cameras. Not it, not it. Sitting with the new ZV-E1. There we go. I get to sit now. At the bottom of the hour, I like to sit down. Wait a minute. I dropped my rubber. It's terrible when you drop your rubber and your underwear is saturated, right, Roy? Okay. So this is, so you can see, it's a rubber band that I used to use maybe 10 years ago for the a better bounce card. They're no longer used. Now there's a stretch Velcro. And I just set that in there. And when I set that in there, I just pop the mic in. And then you know what else I need to do? I need to take this and put it down because I don't want a fuzzy black thing in front of me. Now I can just fix myself, clean my legs, fix my hair. Not that hair. This hair, the hair is fine. Don't touch the hair. Like Jesse would say, don't touch the hair. Okay, so tuning in was very quick. So now we are on the rotating cameras. We're actually looking at the ZV-E1 again. So let's just get Peter comfortable. Oh, that feels so good for a very uncomfortable chair. And we'll tune this up like that. I think we're doing good. What do you guys think? Not bad at all, huh? Bring that in. It's so comfortable. I could fall. Simon's not the only one going to sleep. So Jerry is, my wife's birthday is on the 11th. Happy birthday. What's your wife's name? I'll sing happy birthday to her. Okay. And Alex, hi Peter. My birthday was yesterday. I'm 21. Now, it's Alex. Oh, I just love Alex. I love Alex. I am going to sing happy birthday to Jerry's wife and to Alex. Okay, so let's go stand up again, okay? Let's come back here and stand up. Where's my standing up camera? Should have done it in reverse, right? But, you know, some people are smart and some people are not. So let me call you sweetheart. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jerry's wife. Happy birthday to you. I'm going to sneak down to the bottom and see if Jerry answered me what his wife's name is. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. So I can't sing. Hope is her name. Happy birthday to Hope. Happy birthday to Hope. Happy birthday, dear Hope. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now? Never ask a woman her age. How old are you now? Never ask a woman her age. How old are you, beautiful, gorgeous Hope? Happy birthday to you. Thank you, Jerry. And now, let me do Alex. Happy birthday to Alex. Happy birthday, big boy Alex. Happy birthday, I love you, Alex. Happy birthday to you. Alex is now 21. Yeah. Alex is now 21. Yeah. Happy birthday, dear Alex. Happy birthday, I love you. There we go. I sang happy birthday to Hope and to Alex. I actually spoke with Alex on the phone this week. He's a very handsome young man. Oh, yes. Oh, no, I meant he's a very cool sounding young man. It was on the phone, so I don't even see him. But I'm sure he's handsome. All guys that age are handsome. You got to tell them that, even if they're not. Honestly. Okay, so now I can go back and sit in my chair. I sang happy birthday to Alex. I sang happy birthday to Hope. Now you guys mark the timing, especially Jerry, so you can go back and play where I sang happy birthday for your wife. And then she's going to go, oh, you didn't. And yes, I did. Oh, you didn't. You didn't tell the whole world that it's my birthday. Yes, he did. Hope, listen to me. He told everybody. He told everybody it's your birthday. I know you told him. I told him that you told him that not to tell anybody. I'm trying to find the rotating cameras, guys, in case you're wondering why I'm a little distracted. Okay, found them. Everything's good now. So happy birthday, Hope. I hope you have a blessed weekend. God bless you. Jesus is blessed. I'm a Christian, so don't mind me. I get into Christian talk every once in a while. I pray Jesus blesses you and prospers you. And Alex, you too. I pray you got Jesus in your heart. I hope you believe, because then I'm going to be able, when we get to heaven, because of Jesus, I'm going to grab you. I'm going to tickle the crap out of you, Alex. I'm going to give you the biggest hug ever and tickle you. That's what I keep threatening Sammy with. And then he starts laughing. So he doesn't believe I would tickle him, but I would. I really would. So Sammy is awesome. So thanks for coming in, Alex. Did you guys... I'm back on Alex again, okay? Alex, the reason I spoke with him is he was going to sell a bunch of stuff and move into the Sony A5100 if the deal was available. So if the deal was still available, for very little money, he was going to get into modern technology. And if he likes it, he might even upgrade to the 6100, 6400, or my best suggestion would be an E10. Sammy has an E10. Now, it's one of the better cameras. It'll last you for quite a few years. So I hope you get your birthday wishes. I wish both Hope and Alex prosperity, provision from the Lord. I pray prosperity, health, that you guys are healthy, that you guys, no arguing this weekend, okay? Hope, Alex, no arguing with your anybody's. This is your birthday, and this is a day that you're supposed to enjoy. So I extend all birthdays out for the weekend, and in my case, the whole month. I only get to do it for 1 month, okay, out of 12. So Alex, thank you for being here. I love you, buddy, and I appreciate you very much. Here's one of the dads of the years. Merry Christmas, Peter. Good evening, Greggy's around the world. Happy birthday. Mine is at the end of the month. All right, when we get closer to your birthday, you tell me, because I got to sing happy birthday to you without question. Norm, you hear me? You tell me when we get within a week of your birthday so I could do the birthday for you. Really. I want to honor you because you're such a wonderful guy. Even when you're a creep, you're a wonderful guy. Me too. So I'm not picking on you. So we are in a holiday right now. I know that B&H and Adorama is closed for Sukkos until I forgot. I really did. Or maybe it was up until yesterday. But then today, they're in the Friday. So, Nausicaa's Ting. That's interesting. I like that. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. In the card, when you include the check, million is MILLION. 1,000 is THOUSAND. 100 HUND. 1. So thank you. Thank you, Ting. I appreciate that. Oh, I could play with your name for a while. So, how's your ting? I better behave, okay? I just ordered a bottle of Downy Unstoppables because I like my clothes to smell good when they come out of the washer. So, okay, so it's 12 plus 3. Thank you, Roy. A big hand for you. I got to figure out where to clap my hands around here because there's a mic right in my face. So it's now, until you tell me otherwise, it's 12 plus 3, where before it was 12 plus 2. I got confused there for a second. I thought it was 12 plus 1. No, 12 plus 2, but now it's 12 plus 3. Does it make sense for any of you? So Norm says, I see the Windex bottle to the left of the little white Christmas tree. Where is that white Christmas tree? It's right here. This is for you, Norm. Don't get all your excitement all at once. I don't want you to have a heart attack, big boy, okay? I do love you. What camera is on right now and it doesn't have a label? I think Norm gets a kick out of that. I really do. So it's not the E1. We are on a Panasonic. Turn that sucker on. No, it's not a Norm. It's a Panasonic. Okay, now we're on the ZV-E1. So why don't I have any close-up shots in the sit-down chair for the for the E1? Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, I know why. It's my fault. I shouldn't have moved it. It's my fault. When I sit down, I like to tap the clear image zoom 2 times. So let me put this back where it was, okay? And I'll show you why I do that. So let me centerize that. All right, now I'm going to get up. You know, I can take the mic with me. All right, I'm going to get up. The thinner belly. All right, I'm going to go over to the E1 camera. I'm not even going to look. I'm just going to quickly tap the clear image zoom. I have to look now because it changed. 1. Okay, so I tapped it 3 times. So it actually has an electronic zoom built into the camera. So if you buy what's called a PZ lens, power zoom, that's what the PZ stands for. But one of the secrets to the Sony E1, you could do a zoom if you turn on a feature called clear image zoom. So it uses an algorithm, and that algorithm actually will enlarge the picture without deteriorating your image. And if it does deteriorate it, it's by almost nothing, honestly. So clear image zoom. Now, digital zoom is completely different, okay? Digital zoom, it actually will zoom, it'll enlarge the pixels. So whatever is there, like if you have a big nose, it's going to get bigger, okay? If you have a big butt, picture has a big butt, picture has a big butt. What movie is that from? No, it's not. Oh, Angels in the Outfield. Yeah, Angels in the Outfield. Picture has a big butt. Did I turn the reverb off? Yes. Otherwise, I'd sound like I'm in the hall all night long. All right, so let's go back and see if I screwed up. Yes, I did. See, I shouldn't have touched it. All I had to do was hit the zoom 3 times. So next time before I sit, I have to remember to hit the zoom 3 times, the electronic zoom, and it's the way I actually set it up. I just have to remember to do that. So this way and now when I stand up, it's going to be too much zoom. So I actually have to unzoom it, all right? So I have a 50 millimeter lens on there. If they made something like a 60 or 65, that's what would be better, okay? But it is what it is. What can I tell you? So let's get back to the show, okay? Let's get back to the show. Okay, so I unlocked the cameras because I made some changes. I have to lock them again, or I won't be able to actually... Okay, so this is with the Nikon Z6. All I had to do was turn the camera a little bit and frame myself. And does it look like it's not in focus? Maybe I got the focus area because Roy's the one that told me to move the focus area. So maybe when I sit down, I need to move the focus area. So Peter is learning every step of the way. So Ting says, what lens are you using? I usually write it right here unless I forget to update it. So if you squint, you could see what lens I'm actually running on most of the time. So the Panasonic was turned off, but it's now back on, but the lens didn't change. So it's a lens that's a Canon lens. So on the E10, I don't have the lens written down. And I don't know when. Oh, yes, I do. It's the Sigma 56 millimeter 1.4 lens. And usually, unless there's too much light, I run all my lenses at wide open. Wide open, baby. I like wide open. So, Norm is telling me again. That's okay, Norm. Just take your medication, big guy. You'll be fine, sweetheart. Nothing is wrong. I see the Windex bottle too. You're not hallucinating. No problem. So Simon says, sounds like a Thanksgiving feast, Scotty, Scotty, Scotty. And he's saying, happy Thanksgiving to Norm. Somebody's in a good mood tonight. Yes, he is. So, happy fall, Simon. No, Simon, we don't want you to fall. Boy, you guys are really hot tonight, aren't you? So, Simon is Ordinary Filmmaker, in case you're wondering. Why do I keep calling Simon and you keep putting up somebody else? Ordinary Filmmaker is Simon. Jerry is 181. I forgot the rest of it. So you get to learn the names after a while. And the only one that I don't remember or don't know the name is Funny Fest. So I just call him Fun or Funny. Okay. Pop, pop, pop. So Roy, if Roy knows Ting, then they probably know each other from Chuck. And I hope Chuck is feeling better. I still have 3 Zeiss Sony lenses from the A7. Does the ZV-E1 have the same mount? Yes, I just answered that. It does. If it's an E-mount, it's an E-mount lens. And it'll say it on the lens. E-mount lens. Roy, big guy, and I don't mean big like fat, just like big and I respect you and love you a lot, okay? Just look at the lens. It'll say it's an E-mount lens. And all that will be taken care of, and you could sleep tonight. Happy Thanksgiving, Simon. How are the leaves in your area? Oh, I think I was given a clue. It's Thanksgiving this weekend for Canadians. Duh. Why didn't somebody just come out and say it? Happy Thanksgiving to you, Canadian people. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Canadian people. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving to the Canadians who are doing Thanksgiving at this month, this year. So, Alex says, what fall food is your favorite? Anyone I can get in my mouth. Hello. So, what's a fall food? I have to think about that. I'm low sugar. I went from 205 pounds, and this morning I was 149 and a half. And I didn't do it to lose weight. That's just one of the bonuses that come with me cutting out the sugar. The doctor threatened me. He said, your sugar's too high, your A1C is too high, your cholesterol's too high, I'm going to have to put you on all these medicines. And he brought 100 pills out, and I shot him a bird. I took after Mabel. Mabel, Alex, is my imaginary wife. She's very Southern, but she's also a very mean woman. So if I wake her up, I could get in trouble really, really, really fast. She'll come over here and clobber me. She never lets me have sex. She's never nice to me. And she always shoots me the bird. And that is what my imaginary wife is. So if I call her name out or something, yes, Mabel, we're talking about you, sweetheart. Right now, I'm just telling a handsome young man about you. Yeah, he's a lot more handsome than me. No, you leave Alex alone, okay? Alex got himself, he's got a girlfriend. He doesn't want a big old fat lady. No, don't you get up from that rocking chair. You just sit that big fat butt back down and you behave yourself, okay? Mabel, you behave. That's it. Settle down. Just be a good girl now, okay, Mabel? Rock. That's it. Close your eyes, honey, sweetheart. Yes, I love you. When we go to bed tonight, can we kind of like a little cuddly? I got the bird again. That woman just shot me the bird. I got the insatiable woman that she is. Unbelievable. So my favorite fall food to eat is Mabel. I'm joking. So I don't know what my favorite. I eat the same thing all the time. I get up, I have a smoothie. Then at night, I have meat, eggs, bacon, butter. That's what's on my list. Every once in a while, I'll cheat and have something. It's not going to kill me, okay? So let's see how we're doing. I don't want to infringe on Sly. So that was my handsome young man, Alex. Ting says, yeah, the same. It's the same E-mount. You're in like Flynn. So you could put that on if you buy an E1, if you buy an E10, if you buy, and I don't recommend the A7C Mark II. I don't recommend that camera. It's my own feelings. But I don't recommend it with a little bit of a passion. It should have been a lot more. It really should have been. And that's why I'm a little bit, don't buy the A7C Mark II. Kind of like that, okay? But any of these new cameras that tickle your fancy, Roy, the E-mount will work on them. So Craig says, Peter, what is your best birthday memory or present ever? You know, I'm going to be 70, so there's been so many of them that I'm not cheating by saying this. There's none. My Christmases stand out. When I would wake up, especially when Santa Claus used to visit more often, and the Santa would have presents from wall to wall to wall to wall. You couldn't walk through. You had to, I mean, I must have been between 5 and 10. I'm trying to think of how old I was when I learned the story of Santa. I'm being careful here. You guys understand that because Norm kind of like, so we have to honor him and not tell him to burst his bubble. So I remember the Christmases. My birthdays, there was always food, a cake. Oh, okay. You jogged my memory, Craig. And it's not because I remember it. It's only because I remember it in videos and in pictures. Not because I remember it in real life. And I still even look at the videos, but they're not videos. They were 8mm film, okay? So we had the 8mm film digitized, and I'm able to enjoy them. But when we lived in New York, houses up there have basements. So I guess I found that the basement comes divided, where they turn it into a room, or it's a big room. So our basement up there was a big giant room, and it served as a party room. So my birthdays were especially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old were celebrated in the basement. So, but it was a regular room. You wouldn't know it's a basement except that I'm telling you. But Dad would take 2 sheets of 4x8 plywoods and use what they today they would call a horse. Okay, it's a 2x4 horse, and you put 2 of them up and you lay the plywood. So he would lay the plywood on the horse and butt them up and screw them together. It's funny how I remember that. I don't remember how he screwed them together. And then he got like a fake grass that was used for train sets. And he would put this 8x8 plywood. This is a huge room, okay? And it would say, "Happy birthday, Peter," and then there would be the number, 5, 4, whatever the number was, 3. And he would put an O-scale train, and it would circle the plywood, okay? And he had a lot of the dumper cars, where they would carry coal and stuff like that. But he filled them with candy, potato chips, all that. And I would keep grabbing, and I would get the train and get it off the track. And then inside the track, or outside, I don't remember, I have to go look at the pictures, is cakes. Back then, everybody brought something. Everybody brought something, okay? So, and yet I was the skinniest kid because I was sick all the time. And they used to try to feed me all these cakes and everything. And so the doctor told my parents that unless you took that boy to Miami like tomorrow morning or Phoenix, he's going to die, and probably within a week or two. Now, that's kind of shocking. So that night, when the doctor told my parents that, they put me and my mother on a plane and flew us to Miami because we had distant relatives. And we came to Miami, and there's some pictures of me with just my diaper or my shorts, and I was a damn skinny kid. Oh, my God. So the doctor wasn't kidding. He said that I would not be able to handle pneumonia again. They had to put me in ice baths because my temperature would go up to 105, 106. So that my dad would call the doctor. The doctor would fill up the bathtub or a tub or the sink and put ice in there and put me in it. I can remember that, okay? It was like colder than hell or colder than the North Pole. Dang, they tortured me. Anyway, that's how we wound up in Florida from New York because I was going to die. So the doctor came over because the doctor lived across the street, just a couple of the houses down. So my dad called the doctor and said, he's sick. So he came. He said, this boy's going to die. He's really going to die. And I was not old enough to watch my parents' face, but I'm guessing my parents' face turned white, and they're black. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so they took it seriously. My mother and me were put on a plane, and everyone was on a plane. I remember the plane ride. I was afraid to touch the floor because, honest to God, I thought the floor could fall out of the plane and I would fall to the ground. But the seat was safe, okay? So that's how we moved down here, and I became fat. I ate like a pig. Pig. And that's why with COVID, it kind of scared me because COVID gets into the lower part of your lungs. And that's the trouble I had when I was a baby. The respiratory system. So I did discuss the COVID, whatever you call that thing that they, okay, with a nutritionist that lives up in New England. And he said, Peter, your body's going to have to fight it off one way or another. So by taking the, okay, you're going to have to fight off the disease, and you're going to have to fight off the okay, and it's not tested, so we don't know what it's going to do with you. So my suggestion is build your immunity up to crazy high levels because you're going to have to fight it off one way or another, and that's why I chose not to get the okay. So and so I was on everything I could think of: silver water, oil of oregano, zinc, K2. What else goes with that? Vitamin D3. There was more, okay? All vitamins. ZAC, I think it's called. That's the strongest thing. You know what that does? And it's one of the things that you really need to learn for your own health and safety, okay? It's called ZAC. It's a white bottle. It's on Amazon. They took it off because people were claiming that it was helping them with the, okay? So they took it off. The government made Amazon pull it off, or Amazon, in its stupidity, wokeness, took it off. But it's back on. So I bought a couple of bottles. So what it basically is, this ZAC, it's a white bottle, and the label is mostly orange. It's like Mucinex turbocharged times 10. It gets the phlegm that's deep in your lungs up and out. I learned it from a doctor that works in the ER, that's how he doesn't catch, okay? He doesn't catch it because he takes 1,200 milligrams or 1,250, something like that, a day. So I take 600 a day, and that's kind of like a maintenance. And then I'll come off of it for a week or two, and then I'll go back on. If I feel threatened, like we will probably go for dinner on my birthday a few times that weekend, I will start on Thursday with the ZAC, and just I will take it that whole weekend. People don't. People have acted like it doesn't even exist anymore. I'm talking about okay. No masks, which is fine. The masks don't do anything anyway. I believe that. Okay. Sue me if you don't believe me, but get in line. All right. And they don't wash their hands. I still sanitize. Every time I come in or out, and anytime somebody comes in this house, I have an electric thing where you put your hand under it. It puts like a foam, and you do that. And some of the restaurants, the one that's my favorite that we're going to go to, actually has a hand sanitizer pump in 3 or 4 places around the restaurant. I go over there and I use it. Most of the people that I watch don't. They've given caution to the wind. I don't suggest you do that, okay? I suggest you do not throw caution to the wind. And that's not the only, I'm talking about the again, all right? You got the regular flu and all that kind of stuff. So the masks, they help against bad breath and body odor, but the disease goes right through it, okay? So build your immunity system up sky high. So I accidentally found out that the Nikon, this is Roy talking, doesn't overheat. Left it videoing for 18 hours by accident. Filled up the hard drive, but didn't get a warning or anything. That's great news. Do you think that the Z8 will do the same thing as the Z9? I do have a question about that. Also, another question. On when it comes around to the Z10, which is on my left, okay? So what camera is going to be up next is on my right, this guy, and that's going to be the Nikon Z6. So the Z6 doesn't look like it's centered very well. Let me fix that. It's just annoying me. All right, I moved the camera, but it switched on me. So let's go over to the Z6 real quick to see what I did. All right, that's much better. I get a little of the tree. I get that tree. I get the silver tree. That's a pretty picture. I could actually do. Oh, I told you something last week that was untrue. And that was only because I was confused. On a male portrait, higher shoulder, lower shoulder, and the head does not tilt towards the higher shoulder. I told you that, and that's false. The higher shoulder is a feminine pose, okay? The lower shoulder is a masculine pose. So if you were watching last week and I said that, I caught it while I was playing the show back. That was incorrect. Low shoulder. And I made the effort of making like a T square, okay? So that would mean that the head is tilted towards the low shoulder for the man, high shoulder for the female, okay? High shoulder on the male is a feminine pose. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so here's the E10. This takes the E-mount lenses, Roy. So, I was going to ask you a question, Roy. I was going to ask you, one of the secret things with the E1 is the lenses from the E10 that was just on, including the kit lens, which is small and crazy light. Nikon actually has the same lens. It's a 16 to 50 power zoom f 3.5 to 5.6. Okay, I don't have that lens. Will it go on my Z6 on the Z8? I think it will. That's going to make these cameras potent also. They haven't concentrated on making a small light camera that's just packed, overstuffed with features. And that's what makes this guy, that's why I bought it. It's nothing special other than the fact that it's very small, very light, full frame on 24, 30, and 60p full frame. This has full frame, I think it's a 1.1 crop, on 4K 120 also. Yeah, I downloaded it and it's in that camera. It's not really a firmware upgrade. It's a license where it's in there already, but they only unlock it. So I think they were planning on selling it as an upgrade. So it was in there, and you have to buy the license, except now they're giving the license away for free. So I suggest you get it. And I think what spooked them was that so many people talk about overheating on that camera when in normal circumstances it really doesn't. So I'm sure it overheats if I went out in the sun, but that's one of the reasons that I bought the white body, so that when I go and play in the sun and stuff, that the black body isn't just absorbing the heat like crazy. So there's a guy that did a comparison between the black body and the white body, and the white body, which is the one that I have, is actually 30 degrees cooler than the black body. So that is something that is quite interesting. So let's see. Did I ask the question? Oh, yeah. I was asking Roy. So I'd like to know if that kit lens will fit on the Z8. Because if you have a basically no lens on the Z8, which is what the kit lens does, but it's a crop sensor. So I don't know if it'll actually work or not. Alrighty, so the Z9 doesn't overheat. So Ting is talking to Roy, and you keep losing that weight, Peter, and you're becoming pretty good boyfriend material for the ladies. Yes, I bet you say that to all the guys. I'm teasing. I do a lot of teasing like that. Don't anybody get upset. If you get upset, we're going to have to go out the back, put our boxing gloves on, and do a few rounds, okay? But I tease a lot for the new people that are in here. So here's Jerry. Would the Viltrox 16mm full frame be better than the Sony 11mm? Okay, you want my opinion? No, it wouldn't. All right, so one of the things that you have to get on in your mind to get on the same track that I'm on, okay, is I'm on this track. I'm getting passionate here. All right. In order to get the lightest possible combination, I need a light camera. So you got to look at the weights of the camera. But why buy a light camera if you're going to put a heavy lens? So that has become a very paramount thing for me. I need a light camera, and I need to mate it to a light lens. So I have a 16mm 1.4 Sigma lens. Look it up on Adorama. Go to where it says the specs. It's not a light lens. So why would I want a light camera and put a heavy lens on it? I want a camera that's going to do basically what this camera does. It's a crop sensor camera. It's light as a feather. It has a super duper light kit lens, and it's just a pleasure. The only thing is, when they came out with the E1, they actually did put all the wonderful features into the E1, and then they put features into the E1 that's not on any other camera on this earth. Dynamic active stabilization. I got it right. Damn, I keep saying that is something wrong, okay? So I'm shopping for a light lens. Now, Sigma is coming out with a, I think, 11 to 18 a crop sensor lens for this. So look it up on Adorama. Use my link, okay? I don't have a link for that lens, but use my link to go over to Adorama. That helps me. So I'm asking you to do that, okay? So go over there and find this lens, because and look at the weight. So now the lens is as light, if not lighter, than the super light lenses. So I want to marry the light lens with the light camera body and get all the chocolate pudding features that's in this camera. That makes it a winning combination. So what happened is, on the path that the camera was taking, everybody decided to focus on the fact that the camera overheats. This camera actually works twice as hot to the feel. It feels twice as hot as any other mirrorless camera I have used. So you feel any other mirrorless camera It's warm. You feel this one? It's warm right up at the top. It's running at 115 to 119 degrees Fahrenheit. You put your finger in average it out, 117 degrees warm water. You'll put your finger in, you'll have a knee-jerk reaction because you are now protecting yourself. And then your mind will kick in second. That's how fast your brain is. Okay? And you'll say, oh, that was okay. I could put my finger in that water. Okay? So the big mistake that Sony did is it's got a big flat surface area when you flip out the LCD screen. That should have been deeply ribbed. In, out, in, out, in. That would have doubled the surface area. They could have still kept it plastic. They didn't have to change the design or nothing. They did have to change that design, but they didn't have to change the materials. And it would have become a built-in heatsink. And it would have helped the camera dissipate heat tremendously. Okay? That is what I was talking about earlier about camera companies not being mature. The engineers should have sat there and said, hey, this camera runs at the edge. Okay? So therefore, let's help it. Let's rib that. You know? They could have actually ribbed the bottom plate too, or the top plate. Okay, now I'm not sure they could have done that or not, but I know it's like a griddle on the underneath the LCD screen. If you turn the camera on its side and flip the LCD screen up, you could make, I said in my video to be funny, you can make mini pancakes on there. It'll take a while because it's only like 115 degrees. You need a little higher, you know, to grill some pancakes. But if it was ribbed, like some pots and pans, they rib them so that the stickability is easier. They should have done that. So apparently nobody that works on designing cameras cooks food, because all you had to do was look at your pans, and a lot of them are ribbed, and that would have been a no-brainer. Okay, so let's keep track of the time because I need to go over to slides. I'm the I'm moderator over there. So yeah, here's the E10. I bet you $1 to donuts that rib pattern would do well for this camera too. Actually, they should instill that rib pattern for all of it. Instead of a flat plate, it should be completely ribbed. And you remember when they add the ribbing, came from Peter. Peter's ribs. Okay. So I immediately go, Jerry, to the weight of the item that I want to pair with that camera. So on this guy, I don't really care. I found it's nice to take to my brother's house, and when I take it on my birthday trips and everything, the camera is large and heavy. If they had just taken the Panasonic S5 Mark II that we just came from and they made an X model, if they make an L model, okay? So the S5 Mark II L, and they should take all the metal out of it, rib that back plate that's under the LCD. Oh no, it's got a fan. Never mind. They don't need to. Their fan will keep it cool. Okay, it's got a built-in fan. And take off a third of the weight on that camera. It's like, damn, what the hell? Such heavy cameras. You want a heavy camera? Buy a S1H or a Nikon Z8 or a Canon R5. The R6 is even lighter. So there's something to be said about taking your camera with you, that they just seem to, they don't get it. They're still making cameras like we're in 2010. We're not in 2010. The calendar has advanced, and we are now heading towards 2024. They need to stop making the cameras the way they made them in 2010 or 2015. They need to make the cameras a little different. You know, if anybody that's ever been to an orchestra where they play, Tchaikovsky or Beethoven or the Moonlight Sonata, if you haven't seen the Moonlight Sonata Movement 3, go watch it right now. Go watch it on Peter my namesake, Peter. He lives in Holland, I think. or Hungary. I think he lives in Hungary. Peter Buka, B-U-K-A. He plays, it's the Moonlight Sonata number 3, whatever, Sonata 3 or something like that. What an incredible piece of music. I lay down and it relaxes me and makes my passions run. I mean, I have to turn and watch them play it. Okay? So why did I say all that? Oh, so because these cameras are being used to make content. And when you go and you listen to an orchestra, if you look in the percussion section, that's where the drums are, and they go boom, 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 okay? They have these bells, and they come like a row of chimes. So they can need to make a row of chimes, okay, that are all the same length, very, almost not microscopic, but close, that they could put on the inside of the back of the camera, and it needs to have holes across the top and holes across the bottom. So the heat can rise through the cool and come out the top, and there's never any mixing, so you won't get any infiltration for water leaks or anything. So right across the top, there should be a row of, it looks like you've got 45, 50 mic holes. And on the bottom, you got 45, 50 mic holes. They should be open on the top, open on the bottom, and never intermix with the inside. So as it heats up, the hot air will come out the top, the cool air will come in the bottom, and you will have convection air happening, cooling the camera off. You make it ribbed and bury those tubes in the ribbing. Wow. Now you're making cameras like it was 2023 and 2024 instead of 2015. So they need to do something with the heat. The cameras are no longer 1080. Now they're 4K. 20, 5, 30, 50, all the way up to 120 frames per second. So they need to make the cameras and act like they're in the modern age. How come I can come up with this stuff? How come you, Lanzi, can come up with a fan that you stick on the back? Why? Well, it's because Sony's not thinking. And that's why I think the 120p became free. So if I can remember, I'll put the link where you can get the 120 free update, because I know some of you guys actually have it. Some of you guys actually have the E10. So it is now 11:20. I'm going to have to wind it down. Happy birthday. Charles says happy birthday. Charles Richard Films. Happy birthday, Peter. Love you, Charles. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Sly is happy Friday, everybody driving and listening. Well, you better get yourself ready, Sly, because we're heading to you. We're heading. Hope is her name. Happy birthday to Hope. Happy birthday to Alex. Happy birthday next week and next week after for who's Norm. So Jim, hi Jim, love you, buddy. Hello, Peter and gang. Happy birthday week, Peter. Thank you so much for Jim. I love you. I love you guys. Alex says, thank you, Peter. You're welcome. I love you, Alex. Get used to it. I just do that. If you can't handle the I love yous, don't come around here. Okay? I don't mean anything by it. The church I used to go to when I went every Sunday, the pastor would say, turn to the person on your left, give him a big hug and say, I love you. Now turn to the person to your right. I grew up all through my teenage years, all the way until I stopped going to church with the psst, okay? And now I watch it online. So, and then my nephews and my nieces, they trained me. Yeah, nice talking to you. Okay, sweetheart. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Love you. And I slip and I say that on the phone to somebody like a guy that's a business. And I go, okay, Tom, love you, buddy. And I'm going like, oh, God, what did I just say? You know, at 70 years old, I'm not dangerous sexually to anybody. So just chill. If you got a problem with that, God made 3 fingers and one of them are more useful than the other 2. Actually, one of them is a little taller than the other 2. Pretend that finger just stayed by itself. Okay? I love everybody, including Carlos. Hi, Peter. Hey, everybody. Hope All is well, no matter what. Yep, everybody, we got the marching orders from Motivated Minds. His name is Carlos. So thank you, Carlos. All of these guys have YouTube video channels. So that's why we're all together and we love each other. The more, the merrier. So thank you to everybody. Peter, you need a PTZ camera to or mount to follow you. No, you do not. Not on the E1. Let's keep the right thing. The Z6 looks much sharper now that I moved it. So I think I was on the edge. I was outside of my red focus box, Roy. There's a conversation between me and Roy. Everybody else, it's okay. So Roy actually had me put the red box on the wide and move it up so that I could focus well with the Z6. So when I moved it, all I have to do for stand up and sit down is just move it back and forth, and I'm done. One and done. So on the E1, it's got focus subject detection. What it does is it will crop. Those of you that can't handle crop, go away, okay? It'll crop, and then it'll take that crop and focus follow you within that crop automatically. You can bend down, you can stand up, you can... Now, you can't go outside the size of the sensor, and you can decide how much of a crop you're going to make. So you can make a big crop so it doesn't move that much. So, or a very tiny crop so you can go out in the field and it'll follow you while you walk around in the field. E1 does that. It's subject detection, focus, follow. No special lens needed. Wait a minute, I'm not sure. Okay, so what I'm thinking is it might only work with a Sony brand lens, and it might not. I'm not sure on that one. Don't take my word on that as gospel. Alex says the focus area is on the silver tinsel. Yeah, on the Z6. So I got that. It was on the Z6 much better now. Okay, that's because the camera's over on this side, Alex. All right, big boy. I moved it, and now it's actually doing better. So this is the Z6. So see that silver over before. I think Alex is saying that it was actually focusing on the tinsel and not me, because when the camera was moved to the very edge and I was like way out here, I was outside of Roy's red box. Now the red box stayed, but I moved the camera. All right. So for the Panasonic usually has no problem. No, Panasonic is just fine. It's got my face. Because on this one, I have it on eye and face. Eyes is turned on. So we could talk about that. I could teach you all about that. So Roy says all of his Sony stuff is packed away. You can't look at it. So yes, your answer has come through from Tingle and Peter. Peter Tingles. That's, never mind. Okay. These new cameras are so cool. With their eye autofocus, I wonder if teeth whitening could be that would be great, because my teeth look yellow on some cameras. Sometimes it looks white. So that used to worry the hell out of me. Now I don't care anymore. It is what it is. When I look in the mirror, I could see my teeth are between white and yellow. Okay, Roy, you're going to get in trouble, big boy. You are so going to get in trouble. Sounds like my not imaginary wife. Even Scotty got that. So Mabel, okay, you're in trouble. You sleeping on the couch tonight. Okay. Jim says Canadians are awesome, and so many of great YouTube content creators I follow are in Canada or North. Happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadians. All right, we've crossed 11:25. We're at 11:26. So I'm just going to look down real quick. And Craig is talking about you guys, you could watch the rewind on this. Make comments if you are watching the rewind. I like to hear from you. I'm going to tell you the truth. So it's not just the comments here. I like to get comments when you're watching the rewind. It makes me feel like I'm engaged with you. Not engaged to you, engaged with you. So, So Philip, hi Philip. Vasopoulos, tikanete. I can speak, but I can't read. Can you please tell me what ZAC is spelled? All right, I'll do better than that. Within the next day or so, I will put a link to it in the description. So you guys, I keep saying it, I'm going to put links to all these things. Please remind me. I don't remember, and I'm not writing notes. I do have a pad over here. All right. So Vastopoulos. That's a Greek name. Now supo katilinikad kanena standa katalaveni. Damborona divazo kena grapso linika polikalo paporona miliso linika. So I just told him I can't read and write Greek because I haven't done it in 40 years. But I could handle myself in speaking. Yes, that lamp is dimmable, but I don't have the right bulb in it to make it dimmable. Now I'm going to walk on Sly here, so I need to be careful. We're coming up. So what lens would you suggest for the Nikon ZF for video use? I love your YouTube videos. I would have a lens for YouTube content creation, and I'd have a lens for when I walk with the camera out. So they do make a 16 to 50, and if we have to wait to see what the ZF is all about. Okay, there's some questions. Does it have dual ISO? How good is it in low light? All right, can you take a crop sensor lens on there? Because then you would get the 16 to 50 Nikon PZ power zoom lens for when you go out for dinner, when you go to the restaurant, when you go to the cordio. Okay, you take that camera with you and put the very light lens on it. When you want to sit in your living room or dining room or kitchen and you want to make it the Greek food and all of that good stuff, now you put basically, depending on how big your house is, a 35 millimeter or a 50 millimeter lens on there. And just get the cheap lenses because the Nikon's got great sensors. Okay. Thank you, Peter. Sometimes I forget. You're right. That was the reason I got the E1, because I wanted a light camera and not suffer with the video quality. That's a perfect way to sum it up. I want a full frame camera. I want it light, and I don't want my video quality to suffer. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. It's going to have to go around the back because the sentence is too long. Okay, so it is 11:30. Thank you for happy birthday, Philip says. Crop of a crop. Yeah, I tapped it 3 times, and that's what you're looking at now on the E1. I'm always in trouble. Happy Thanksgiving for the Canadians. Happy birthday to all the people, all the new people that haven't been in here before. Alex hasn't been here. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. The ZF may be one of the best low-light cameras. Okay, well, that's good news. Sly has started. Peter's got to go. I love you. Mwah. If you're watching this on the rewind, please comment. I love you. Catch you later. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And we are going to go bye-bye now.